I went to a very poorly reviewed Tim Hortons in Oro-Medonte, Ontario to test it out. It had extremely bad reviews. I'll read some of the reviews, then I'll say what my experience was when I was at that Tim Hortons, and then I'll read a few more reviews. Some of the employees are either rude or look like they don't want to be there, and they're not very friendly. Okay, here goes. Amber Cleese, one of the reviewers on Google Reviews, says, "It makes me sad how far the overall quality of product and experience has slipped." So this is at the Tim Hortons I went to. Just keep in mind, this is not a full Tim Hortons, it's a Tim Hortons within a gas station. The food here is neither fast nor cheap anymore. It took 25 minutes for 2 coffees, a bagel, and a garlic bread. They made my bagel cold and burnt with a blob of cream cheese, the very center of the bagel and nowhere else. The garlic bread took way too long. It's literally a bun with cheese. No cutting or prep really required. And despite asking for extra garlic seasoning, it was still barely dusted with anything. Do better, Timmy's, for your staff and your customers. So at this point, I'm wondering if it's worthwhile to even enter into this Tim Hortons. Let's keep reading some of the reviews. Some are positive. Let's just see what they say. Y. Simpson says, "I honestly don't think I've ever gotten what I asked for here. They don't cook fresh things every day. I went in for a muffin and the outside was warm, but the center was still frozen. The service is terrible. The workers just stand and talk in their native language and take their time getting to the mic or the cash register." This person says, "I had to wait a long time for the order. I ordered a grilled chicken wrap, but it was just wrap almost without filling." Caitlin says, "I had a pretty good experience for this place until today. Usually I just deal with my coffee being made wrong, or it's cold, or the workers simply just not following direction. But today I ordered a farmer's wrap. As I was eating it, I found something hard and black in my food that shouldn't have been there. I do have a photo, but can't seem to figure out how to post it. The cleanliness has gone downhill completely with this restaurant. I've noticed that some days I'm waiting in the drive-thru at the speaker for more than 10 minutes. Harjinder Singh says, "As usual, I buy breakfast here. Girl Ponpreet cooked my sandwich very well. All others are also very friendly." Naturally, Tim Hortons was pleased with this review and responded, "Thanks, Harjinder. We are incredibly grateful that you took the time out to leave us this note. Our company values customer satisfaction as a top priority, and we are committed to our customers. Warm regards, Tim Hortons Guest Care." Your friend writes, "I ordered food and beverage in drive there, and I got my order in less than a min. I am very satisfied with the service of this Tim Hortons. The staff there is so connecting and talkative. Their work is neat and clean also." Denise Brady says, "Was slow and I felt ignored by staff. I was the only customer at the counter or drive-thru at that moment, but the girl just looked at me and walked away, talking with another staff member before coming back to take my order 2 minutes later. She did not acknowledge me with the courteous greeting. I understand not smiling all the time because people have bad days, like not feeling well, tired, stressed, so on. However, it doesn't take much to give proper greeting of, 'Hello, may I take your order?' She just basically stood there at the cash register, staring at me, not saying a word, until I placed my order, only to ask, 'Is that all?' After getting my coffee, I can honestly say it's the first time I've ever had a Tim Hortons coffee watered down. I was extremely disappointed with the service and the product." Jacob McGinnis reviews in this way, "I stop by this location every time I drive to Aurelia for work, and I regret it every time. Today was not even close to the first time they served me an overcooked and stale bagel. It's honestly gross. I think I have had over 40 meals from here, and more than half the time, the food is significantly worse than any other Tim Hortons location I go to. Unless you are just getting a coffee tea, avoid at all costs." Response from the owner, "Hi Jacob, your review is very concerning to us. We would appreciate it if you would contact our guest care team by filling out the form at www.timhortons.ca. Contact us. Warm regards, Tim Hortons guest care. James says, typical gas station Tim Hortons, perfect for stopping for gas, snacks, and a coffee. Not a standalone location, so the bathrooms are what you'd expect from one of these joints. Would stop again next time I'm heading this way. Static Audio says, drive-through operator only said hello and drive up. No total or anything else. Ordered coffee and 2 farmer's wraps, which were thrown together in a greasy mess. No sauce, but the ingredients were still mushy somehow. Jordan Cunliffe writes, I went in on May 29th at around 6 p.m. I waited a lot longer than I should have. It looked like there were 4 workers. The customer in front of me got angry and left. I waited and considered leaving myself. I finally got served. After I asked if I could have a survey for a $1 iced coffee or if they had any, mainly because I wanted to point out slow service on the survey. He just kind of looked around and someone from the drive-through area said, no, from across the store. I said, okay. While I was waiting, I saw a bunch of surveys in the receipt printer. I told the guy at the front counter, I see surveys, can I please have one? He says, those are just receipts, and said, no. I could see the surveys, and I pointed to them. He pulled off the surveys and showed me the top receipt for my order, and I had to reach over the counter and point at the 6 surveys he just had in his hand, and he finally gave me one. The employees at the store gave me slow service, and I was nice about it, but they did everything they could to not give me a survey, so I couldn't complain about their service. I don't think this is a lack of training issue. This seemed to me like they were deliberately trying not to give me one, knowing that their service was bad. Response from the owner. Hi Jordan, your review is very concerning to us. We would appreciate if you would contact filling out the form. Brian Boudreau. This is the worst Tim Hortons I have ever visited. The service here is consistently poor. We bought 2 turkey bacon clubs recently, and there was no bacon and no sauce. Just a thin portion of turkey and some lettuce. That's it. We doubled back on the highway and drove all the way back. 15 minutes after we returned, they replaced only 1 sandwich because we each had taken a bite. We refused the single sandwich solution, went without, and we refused to go there again. Okay, so now I'm going to say what my experience was, and then I'll go back to reading more reviews. Back, please.
Medium.
What are the choices?
Yeah, small, medium, large.
Medium, I guess, yeah.
Medium vanilla ice cap.
I'll get a medium dragon fruit puncher ice, but
You want it frozen but no whipped cream, right? Is that a medium or a large? Anything else for you?
can I have a fruit puncher dragon fruit with ice?
You want with lemonade or sparkling?
Lemonade.
Lemonade. Is that a medium? Is that a medium size?
Yeah.
So they did give us the wrong size drink, and we did go back and they fixed it. And the person we were dealing with was nice and did genuinely seem to feel bad that the sizing was wrong.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, give me a large. I can give you a large if you want.
He seemed new and he didn't seem to be part of the gang there. Didn't seem to know everyone or be part of that gang. And he seemed really remorseful about his mistake. And he was telling people, oh, I did this, I got the wrong size. So confusing. My experience, the drinks were actually quite delicious. And this guy that served us was really nice and felt bad about the mistake, although there was a mistake. So that is how it was. So I just want to say that there was no disaster, although there was a mistake. Okay, so let's go on to read more reviews. DJ Knight. I've been living in this area for many years. When this location opened on Highway 11 at the 7th line, it was great and continued to be great over the years. Unfortunately, this has changed so much that I must make this review. I will try to avoid this Tim Hortons at all costs. They are slow. Some of the employees are either rude or look like they don't want to be there, and they're not very friendly. I cannot tell you how many times I've come through the drive-thru, get tied up in it, and only find out they don't have something that you're ordering. They always run out of items such as eggs, tomatoes, and many other things. Or they get your order wrong, and since you're on the highway, you take off going down the highway and can't get back easily, only to find out your order is wrong or messed up. Very disappointed with this location now. It's December 2023. I hope to see a change for the better. Why do they always run out of important items? Obviously, it's poorly managed and not taking care of the product. Not very good either. Ordered a BLT and the lettuce looked like spinach and totally wilted. On that note, the girl handed me my sandwich and said, "I forgot to tell you there was no tomato." And I'm like, really? What am I supposed to do? Are you in the lineup and tie up other customers? Sorry, but this is a big red flag for me and this location. Perhaps I will start to go to Starbucks or other coffee franchises. Danny D says, no diversity. One language which is not English. Discussing and laughing at customers and orders. Flies all over the food. Disgusting. LOL, look at their response, inviting to talk to their customer service that is offshore. Anthony Pereira says, stood in line, waiting. Yes, they were a bit busy. Lady behind the counter looked lost. Cannot multitask. As I am standing there, line up grew to 7 people. She didn't even acknowledge us standing there, just ignored and chatting with coworkers and trying to finish up one order. I visit enough Tim Hortons to know that this one needs improvement. All the attention of the other 5 employees were at the drive-thru. I eventually left and 2 other people did too. David M. Never have donuts, it seems. Looks a little chaotic and dirty behind counter. Coffee is good. Staff could use a little more training to get orders right. Sunny Sidhu. The lady in a golf cart came that we don't serve coffee to truck drivers. We cannot park trucks nearby to get a coffee. She was rude. We always go this gas station and Tim's for coffee, but this time this lady was just mad. Kyle J. Ordered a large double, 2 orders of wedges and 2 chicken bacon ranch wrap with sriracha instead of ranch, and 2 times chicken and 2 times bacon and cheddar cheese. First off, service is slower than it really should be, and had to have my coffee redone twice, then finally get my food and go to my truck and continue on work. Now, not only am I running late, I grab my food while heading to my site to find out I get 2 regular chicken bacon ranch wraps and 1 order of wedges. I understand mistakes, but this is complete ignorance and laziness. Can't do a second review, so just adding here. So again, I decided to stop here 2 days ago and grab a quick breakfast on the way to Toronto, and again order was messed up, but this time I checked before leaving, and the woman making the food decided instead of just fixing the order, it was better to argue and have an attitude about the mistake before correcting it, all while multiple customers were lined up witnessing this. Definitely not returning to that Tim Hortons. Convinced store on the other hand is great, and I'll only be stopping for gas and the store. Eric. This is one of the only Tim Hortons that always gets my order right. The drive-thru staff in the morning are always friendly. The only reason I can't give 5 stars is because there is something about the coffee that tastes odd. Unlike any other Tim's I've been to, it could just be the water used to brew it. Jamie Kosnaski. I've been going to this location for years and never usually have a problem, but this morning we ordered 2 steak and egg sandwiches, 1 with light sauce, and specially asked them to mark the 1 with light sauce. Girl at the window gave us the sandwiches and they weren't marked. When we asked for them to be marked, the person making them told the girl at the window serving us, they'll find out when they open them. It's this kind of arrogance that gives Tim Hortons and its workers a bad reputation. I'm not trying to be a Karen complaining for the sake of complaining. I worked in food service for many years, and in the last few years, the customer service in the entire industry has been terrible in general, but especially when it comes to Tim Hortons staff, and it's not just at this location either. Clayton Johnson. This location is a complete joke and waste of time. Nobody here can make anything correctly, and you're constantly waiting long periods of time. Doesn't matter what time it is. Save yourself the headache and don't stop. unless you're getting gas.